Hello everyone, Sharpedo43 once again bringing you all another Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be in the UU tier, and my opponent for it is going to be your boy the Snack, aka the Killer Nacho. So before anything, you're probably wondering where's the IBL D-League battle that usually goes up either on Sunday or Monday. Well, today's my birthday, so I mean, cheers. I didn't want to upload that today, honestly, and Sunday I didn't really have time either, honestly. And plus I was trying to finish wrapping up the March Madness battles that I had, honestly, so that way I don't have to worry about them later. But yeah, so IBL D-League battle is gonna go up on Wednesday, in other words the 27th, just because I'm probably gonna be too lazy after this, because let me tell you, this video took me a while to get prepared, obviously. But anyway, so why is my opponent the Killer Nacho here for my birthday battle? Was just because honestly, Killer Nacho was one of the people that was very accessible to me. Like he was one of the people I was easily able to get a battle out of, thankfully. And I actually thought of something right here when I was actually battling him after the battle, and that was, I remember that one time way back in March 25th actually, which was on my birthday once again, of 2016, where I had my very first Gen 6 battle, 6v6, because I did battle online previously, like, you know, 3v3s and whatnot in Battle Spot. But Killer Nacho was the first person I battled in 6v6 format, and it all started on my birthday basically in March 2016, because yeah, that's when I actually like finally made teams and I actually wanted to battle people, and what better person to battle than the guy that I actually followed for many years. So yeah, and I've battled Killer Nacho for several times, honestly. Like ever since I battled him in 2016, I just been doing nothing but battling him. Like I've battled him several times in X and Y, and I've battled him several times in ORAS, and I battled him several times in Sun and Moon as well, honestly. Like that just goes without saying. I mean, I can drop down, for one thing, I can drop down the link to the first battle that we had like on my birthday, but it wasn't uploaded on my birthday, but you know, it happened on my birthday and he uploaded a few days later. And I can also drop down a playlist where it has pretty much all the battles that I've had with a Snack. It's a lot of battles, bro. Snack and I just have a lot of history together in terms of battling, honestly. It's actually kind of crazy, but at the same time I like it, honestly, because it makes me feel more attached to the Snack, and people don't think I'm just some kind of, like, you know, just some nobody, honestly. But yeah, but anyways, with all that said, let's get into the teams real quick before we start the battle. So I have a brand new team here, consisting of Crocodile, Among Us, Hydreigon, Doublade, Diancie, and Araquanid. Snack has Scizor, Nidoking, Chestnut, Mega Manectric, Primarina, and the what's this thing called? Chandelure. Yeah. Now the Snack's team, I feel like it's way too good for my team, honestly. Like I feel like this team that I have doesn't match up well with his team again, which is crazy, because honestly, usually when I battle the Snack, I always try to get something, like I try to have like the advantage over him, but he always seems to have some kind of like advantage over me in the end, and it's like, wow, really? So but yeah, nonetheless, this team is not my team. It's actually a team that was given to me by a guy named Kyle Rare. Yeah, I was looking for a UU team because I was tired of using the same shit that I've been using for the past several battles in UU. So I was just like, you know what, who's got a team that they can send me? And this guy sent me one, and I decided to try it out. It seems very similar to ones I've used in the past, but honestly, it does have some variety, actually. And against this team, it might actually be a mission and a half to win it, if it's possible, honestly. But we're about to find out right now. So here we go. I lead off with Crocodile, and he leads off with Scizor, which is obviously not a good matchup for me. I do get the Intimidate off though, which is really good, because this allows me to switch out now, and I'm going to go into, I believe, the Among Us. The reason why is because even though he's clearly going to probably go for U-turn, I do have the Rocky Helmet on this thing, so I can punish its attempt at U-turning, and I can just get some damage off via Rocky Helmet. Plus, I don't really have a lot to hit the Scizor with, so might as well get that residual damage from Rocky Helmet. Now here he's going to go into Nidoking though on the U-turn, and I'm just going to switch out into Hydreigon. The reason why was because even though I know these things can have Ice Beam, I was more so afraid of him just getting Stealth Rocks up, or any form of hazard for that matter, because again, his team is just full of raw power, that if he gets any form of hazards up, it's going to be easy for him to cripple my team to death and just late game sweep me with literally any of his powerhouses. So I immediately went for the Defog right here. I was hoping he'd fear the Earth Power as well, which is why I had the confidence to go for Defog right there. But as he switches in Primarina, I decide to send in Araquanid to see what he goes for. But he actually ends up switching out again and going back into Nidoking, which is actually a good matchup for me. Even though I know these things can have Thunderbolt, I can take at least one and then just take this thing out with a Liquidation. So, but he actually ends up switching out right here and going into Chestnut, and I just again go for Liquidation. As you can see, it does quite an amount. I even get the defense drop, which meant I was actually going to stay in and actually keep going for more liquidations. But unfortunately, this thing had Rocky Helmet, and it was probably a massively defensive Chestnut with probably Synthesis, so I didn't want to just stay in and just keep attacking it while I get crippled, honestly. So I hard switched into Doublade right here, because I was thinking, I don't think Chestnuts have really much for Doublade, honestly. But he ends up going for the Leashy, predicting my switch, so that's actually really, really bad for me. And he's gonna I think I actually switched out because I didn't want to have this Leech Seed on me, and I went into Amoonguss. He actually ends up switching out himself as well and going into the Mega Manectric, because this is his Mega, by the way, as you can see. And I think because this was like another double switch, I think I just stayed in and went for a Giga Drain here, and he's actually going to go for the Overheat. I was actually hoping he didn't have Overheat, but honestly, it's usually a 50-50, because there's some people who prefer Flamethrower over Overheat, because Overheat drops your special attack by 2, but hits really, really hard. In this case, it almost takes out my Amoonguss, cripples it quite a lot, which is why I'm glad I went for Giga Drain, because I can at least get some HP back, then switch out and get some more Regenerator here. In fact, that's actually what I do right here, as he actually switches out into Chandelure right here, predicting some kind of switch. But I actually go into Crocodile, which is actually a really, really good matchup for me. And because this was another double switch here, I actually decided to go for the knockoff. Although I'll admit that I was actually thinking quite a bit here, and I was wondering if I should actually go for Pursuit, thinking he wouldn't want to lose Chandelure here, would he? But he actually lets his Chandelure go down, I think for either one of 3 reasons. Either he was predicting me to not be Scarfed, he was predicting me to over-predict, or he probably thought I'd go for Pursuit, I don't know. But yeah, so, but he does lose the Chandelure, and now he goes into Primarina because he gets a free switch in. And I decided to send in the Amoonguss, because Amoonguss is a something that can take hits from Primarina. And I was afraid more so of the Moonblast, more so than the Sparkling Aria, which is what he goes for here. He's gonna now switch out into the Nidoking, and I actually switched out yet again because I wanted to know if this thing was like choiced or not. And he actually just sent in Nidoking. I send out the Araquanid though, and then I just go for the Sticky Webs here because he actually ends up switching out, not wanting to stay in. And I get Sticky Webs, like I said. And then here, I think he goes, or I switch out actually. I switch out and go back into Amoonguss because I figure what's the worst he can do? He ends up going for Spikes, which is actually really, really annoying. And anticipating another layer, I actually went for the Hidden Power Fire just to see how much it would do, honestly, to a Chestnut, because honestly, it usually, I was hoping it would do a lot. I can't go for Sludge Bomb, honestly, because these things can have Bulletproof, which means they're immune to Sludge Bomb, which is actually kind of crazy, honestly. But yeah, so that's why I went for Hidden Power Fire. And as you can see, it did almost nothing. So what I decided to do here was, expecting maybe a 3rd layer of Spikes, let's just switch into the Hydreigon. I don't have anything to hit the Chestnut with this Hydreigon, but I figured, you know what, it's good to just get the hazards out of the way. I am going to lose my Sticky Webs, but I figured why not go for it. I think here he went into Nidoking, I think predicting me to, I don't know, switch out again, but I just went for the Defog again, thankfully. I think he was still fearing the Earth Power on this thing. And yeah, so I went for Defog right here, getting rid of the Spikes, which is good for me because now I can still keep switching around without getting crippled. And I get to keep switching in the Amoonguss right here, which is still relatively healthy. Unfortunately here, he finally decides to predict now and actually goes for the Ice Beam and actually calls my switch. At the same time though, this Primarina with just Ice Beam actually is one of the safest moves against this matchup, because a whole lot of my team is actually weak to the Ice type, honestly. But here he goes for another Ice Beam, and here's where I think I find out if this thing is choiced or not. I switch out, I think going back into Amoonguss just to see if he would actually switch out, and he actually does do it. So this pretty much confirmed to me that he's choiced, honestly, and didn't want to stay in on an Araquanid that can possibly hit it really, really hard with a Liquidation. So here he goes in the Chestnut, predicting me to, I guess, continue attacking with Araquanid. And this is when he goes back into Primarina. I went for Hidden Power Fire because I thought he was going to try to just set up Spikes in my face again, but he actually didn't, and he just went back into Primarina, which was a risky play, but good play on his part that he was predicting the Hidden Power Fire. This forces me to switch out again because I'm not really, really healthy with this Amoonguss, and he actually does predict my switch yet again as I switch in Diancie. And it doesn't do over half, which is actually good for me, especially after leftovers now. This actually now gives me the opportunity to literally do whatever the heck I want. I think here I ended up switching out yet again, which is actually like crazy, bro. He goes in the Nidoking, and I think I just go back into Amoonguss just to see if he actually goes for the Moonblast again, but he actually does switch out in the Nidoking because I think he saw the Nidoking coming, or the Amoonguss coming, after I saw Moonblast. So yeah, but here what I decided to do now is go for the Giga Drain, and I think he went for Stealth Rocks. And here I think he switches out into Manectric right here. And here I was actually just going for the Spore just because I wanted to put this freaking Nidoking to sleep. But he, like I said, he ends up switching into the Mega Manectric as well, which pretty much puts him to sleep, which is actually really good because this Mega Manectric was also a bit of a threat if it gets to go around pivoting with Volt Switch and whatnot, especially since my team doesn't have any Volt Switch immunity. So here he actually tries to stay in to wake up first turn, but thankfully that doesn't happen, and I get a free Sludge Bomb off. And now he decides to switch out and go into Nidoking, predicting another Sludge Bomb. And I actually, thankfully, go for the Giga Drain because I wanted to get some more HP back with this Amoonguss so I could be at full. But he switches into Nidoking. And now here I decide to stay in just to go for another one, just to cripple this thing even further, possibly even take it out. As he goes for the Ice Beam, which he did have all this time. Can you believe that all this time I was switching in the freaking Hydreigon on this Nidoking and he never went for Ice Beam? That's crazy, honestly. The fact that I was able to get away with that shit, honestly. But yeah, so we do take out the Nidoking, thankfully, and now he's gonna send out the Primarina, which now forces my Amoonguss to switch out because now I have to go into Diancie to see what he locks himself into, because this Diancie hasn't really been doing much, and it's all thanks to that Scizor that he has in the back of this team. So I had to basically just, you know what, fodder something, and I figured Diancie would be the right thing to pick, sack right here. So here he goes for Ice Beam, and he does get the freeze, but it doesn't really matter here, honestly. And he's just going to take me out because I was sacking this Diancie anyways. I think the scary thing would have been here if he tries his luck and actually tries to like switch out into something else and try to, you know, capitalize on the fact that I'd be frozen, honestly. But thankfully not. And I go into Double right here just to, you know, set up on this thing because he went for the Ice Beam and Double does resist Ice Beam. I can get a free Swords Dance up right here. He does hard switch in the Chestnut, and here's where I finally decided to just go for the Iron Head. It's a 2-hit KO, so as long as I can just take out this Chestnut, I should be fine. He does go for Leech Seed, and he's probably going to try to go for Spiky Shield afterwards. But I think I can still take this thing out before he gets away with, you know, crippling me to death. However, unfortunately for him, I do get a crit here, which allows me to just simply take out this Chestnut without having to capitalize on the Rocky Helmet as much, as well as the Leech Seed, as well as the Spiky Shield. So I guess this kind of hastened the process. But I mean, it was still kind of like bad because he could have probably taken out this Doublade with the Moonblast that this Primarina goes for right here. I just go for the Shadow Sneak here, and I do survive it, and even after Leech Seed I survive it, so I can just go for another Shadow Sneak at +2, which is really good. He knows that this Primarina is kind of his win condition given the matchup that I have right now. Like a lot of the coverage moves that he has on this Primarina can answer a lot of my team, because a lot of it is weak to it, honestly, particularly the Ice type. But yeah, here he's going to switch into the Scizor now just to take the Shadow Sneak. And looking at the amount of damage this did, it tells me that it's a very offensive Scizor, honestly. Because if they're of the bulky variety, they would take this a lot better, even at +2, honestly. But yeah, so now I decided to send in Hydreigon, and I decided to just finally pop out the Z move here, which in this case would be Fightinium Z, because I wasn't confident that Dark Pulse can actually take it out from here, so I just figured, let's just whack this thing real hard, real quick. But I think he saw this coming, or maybe he didn't think I'd go for something that can hit Primarina really hard. But yeah, he ends up switching in the Primarina, and this thing is going to actually eat up the all-out pummeling like it's nothing. So with that said, now we're just going to switch out again. I think here's where I decided to sack the Araquanid, because the Araquanid wasn't going to be able to do much, especially since I wasn't able to defog the rocks away. So I figured it's going to take some damage here, and then it's just going to go down. So I figured sacking the Araquanid is probably a good idea here. And the reason why I needed to sack something was so I can send in Crocodile, who can definitely take out this Primarina from this range. But the Hydreigon cannot, so therefore, yeah, I needed to sack something, obviously. So here I finally sent in Crocodile just to, you know, clean up right here, because I think looking at what's left of his team, I am in a good position to possibly take out this the rest of his team. The only concern is if the Scizor is of the roosting Swords Dancing variety, because that would actually be scary, because then that means he could have just easily set up and then just late game sweep me right here. But here he's actually going to sack the Mega Manectric, getting one last ditch Intimidate before going down, so that way he can just bring in Scizor and force me to switch out, which if he has Swords Dance on this thing, I think I could very well lose, because I think my Amoonguss wasn't very healthy when it switched out last time. But yeah, so here I'm going to risk it nonetheless, hoping he doesn't have the Swords Dance, and if he does, then I think I just lose. Thankfully for me, he just went for the U-turn, and looking at the damage that this did, I think it's Bandit actually, which is actually kind of crazy, because I was like, oh shit, this thing is probably gonna set up Swords Dance, but I had to send in Amoonguss because otherwise I'd be screwed. So yeah, But, or maybe I would have tried to switch out the Among Us here. I don't know what I would have done if he had Swords Dance, honestly, but he didn't have it, so I just let this Among Us go down so that he sends out Primarina, and now I could just clean up with Crocodile right here, because this Primarina goes down, and given the amount of damage that that Scizor took from the Rocky Helmet, it definitely put it in range where Earthquake can take it out. Because initially, I wasn't sure if Crocodile was able to take it out, honestly. So, but after the Rocky Helmet damage from Among Us with Scizor, now I actually do believe I can take it out, which is actually really, really good. So here I just go for the Earthquake. He's actually going to go for a Bullet Punch. If he got a crit here, there was a chance he could have won if he got another one on my Hydreigon, because that Banded Bullet Punch just did way too much damage, honestly. But thankfully, no crits, and we were just simply able to take this thing out. So we're going to get this W like 2-0, which is like, holy cranberries, bro. This was one of the most hard-fought battles that I've had against the Snack in a while, honestly, just because, dude, this battle lasted 43 turns, which is, doesn't that ring a bell? But yeah, 43 turns this battle was because of how hard fought it was. It was because of the matchup, honestly. The matchup was just not good in my favor whatsoever. I literally had to outplay my opponent super hard. Like, you saw how many freaking double switches there were in that battle? Because I had to literally call out every attempt at him switching, because if he gets the upper hand on anything, he just whams me with the Nidoking or the Primarina or the Chandelure or the Mega Man Trick. Like, his team is just full of raw power that one mistake could cost me the entire game. Like, you guys saw that I had quite a lead there, but like, as soon as the powerhouses started coming in, like, he just started KOing a lot of shit, and I was forced to sack a lot of stuff because of it, because of the amount of switches I was limited to. But yeah, so that's gonna be our battle for my birthday, at least. And the folks are finally home, so I guess right on cue, I guess. So thank you all for watching this battle, and hope to catch you guys all in the next battle. And like I said before, stay tuned for IBLD League. That's gonna go up on Wednesday, like I said. But right now I'm just like beat, because dude, I was taking so long, like, trying to get this battle out of the way before anything, because I actually wanted to get this up on my birthday, honestly. So yeah, but anyways, with all that said, oh yeah, GG to the Snack once again. Check out his channel in the description below, and I'll catch you guys in the next battle. But for now, just take it easy and have a good one.